On a warm summer morning in Brevard County, Florida, a retired judge goes out to check on his boat anchored in the lagoon behind his house. As he walks along the dock, he sees something in the water beneath him. As he looks closer, he realizes it's the body of a young woman. Whoever this woman is, she suffered a cruel death.
The ankles were tied, the wrists were tied, and they were connected by another binding. So she was crunched forward with her hands to her ankles. As I describe it, a front hog tie. There was duct tape wrapped around her eyes, around her head several times. And there was duct tape around her chin. There were shopping bags tied to her feet. And these bags appeared to have probably had some type of weighted material, rocks or whatever, that had busted through, which allowed her to pop up.
With no immediate clues to the victim's identity, police go to work on other evidence found at the scene. Crime scene agent Terry Laufenberg carefully unwraps the duct tape and rope that bound the victim. He immediately notices something that could be significant. A microscopic examination reveals the hair's source. It's a canine hair. Until detectives identify the victim, the dog hair is just another piece of a puzzle. In the meantime, fingerprints soon reveal the victim's identity.
Misty April Morse.
22-year-old Misty Morse was born and raised in Satellite Beach, Florida, a beautiful seaside community on the Atlantic shores. Misty was last seen getting ready for a date late Saturday night. She was happy and excited. No one suspected that would be the last time she would ever be seen alive. Detective Gary Harrell from Brevard County Sheriff's Department starts his investigation by interviewing those close to Misty. He speaks with Misty's current boyfriend, Stephen Lewis. He's a 28-year-old electrician. The couple met through mutual friends and have only been dating for a few weeks. He seems open and cooperative. But then Detective Harrell finds something disturbing. Stephen has Misty's driver's license.
He told me about them going to a movie and holding her driver license for her, because that's the only thing that she brought was just her ID, and he stuck in his pocket and he gave me her license.
Stephen provides a solid alibi. Detective Harrell clears him. He knows not to draw conclusions too early in a homicide case. Instead, he continues to develop a clearer picture of the victim and the people she encountered in her daily routines. They talk to some of Misty's old boyfriends. One named Brent says he still hangs out with Misty on occasion, but he has a new girlfriend, one he cares for deeply. He appears to have no real motive to kill Misty.
Come on in, officer.
Still, something about Brent's background catches Detective Harrell's attention.
And listening to this guy, I knew this guy grew up on the river and knew it like the back of his hand.
Misty was found in an isolated lagoon area, a location that Brent would know about. Though it's a long shot, Detective Harrell asks Brent if he'd come down to the station to tell him more about his relationship with Misty. He agrees.
He described her as someone that he could go by anytime he wanted, give her a call, and he could get sex. He had no emotional connection to her. He knew that she was always willing and waiting for him.
Brent admits he called Misty the night she disappeared.
I called her on her cell phone.
He had heard a rumor about her that concerned him.
She was pregnant with my child.
You know what?
Brent admits that the two argued, and he hung up on her twice. Each time he called back.
Hello, Misty?
But for Detective Harrell, it's the last call that raises a red flag.
We knew that there were 3 conversations, and the last conversation was a very short conversation. And he explained those conversations, and it just didn't make sense to me. The times really didn't match up.